Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's broadcast. For 12 days, I decided not to broadcast or not to do any sort of a recording, and then all of a sudden, I realized that I should have recorded, and then I record a 1 hour bit of the recording, and then I decided that okay, let's do this once a year, once in a week, or maybe twice, and then break the 1 hour recording into 20-25 minutes recording, and try to extract 3 to 4 videos from the same recording and upload it on different days, so that you know, so that upload it basically on different days and keep the content train going. And in the pursuit of talking and getting my shit off my chest, I've taken an entirely wrong turn and I'm going somewhere else. Anyways, I need to focus, and then I didn't even complete my sentence, and then here I am doing a recording. I did a recording in the morning. The first 10-15 minutes were pretty good. I recorded for about 30 minutes. The first 10-15 minutes were pretty good. But I had connected my earphone and TWS earphones and my mic to the Bluetooth device at the same time. And then I guess in the first half it was recording through the mic, but then in the second half it all of a sudden decided to record to the TWS, and then all of the audio quality is completely useless. So, as a matter of fact, here's the funny part. Towards the end, I could see that the amplitude of the waves that is being shown in the voice recorder is not as intense or as sharp as when it is recording to the mic. And I did a few experiments. I listened to the recording back, but at that time I had listened to a few seconds before I saw this change in the amplitude of the waves. But still, I concluded that nothing is wrong, and it's maybe because I am speaking slightly slowly, even though the mic was centimeters, if not millimeters, away from my face. It's getting worse, guys. It's getting worse. It's getting so worse. Initially, I used to stay in delusion because I didn't used to fact check in the first place. But now, even after looking at the facts, even after looking at conclusive evidence, I am still not able to, conclude the fact that, something is wrong. What is this called? Denial. I think I was in complete denial that no, this is how it is supposed to sound. Even listen to the recording hundreds of times now. Yet still, for some reason, I refuse to believe that something was wrong with the recording, and maybe it has switched the mic, and maybe it is recording the TWS. Even though now that I'm thinking about it, and now that I did towards the end when I was trying to edit one of the video bits, at that time I realized that no, maybe something was wrong with the recording, and maybe it was against the TWS. Extremely logical thinking. So, even though I am recording consecutively 3 times now, and I am recording for the second time in the same day, yet you can count this as a reattempt of the first time that I tried to record of the recording. I had commented about a few things in the previous recording, which I obviously don't remember what I spoke about. And I spoke about Maruti Suzuki being an excellent car manufacturer. And I am tempted so hard to go on a different tangent about something that has happened with me. And in my mind, I'm thinking that it will hardly take 5 minutes, but I know it won't take 5 minutes. But I'm still gonna try and reduce it to less than 5 minutes. So, one of my family members, who's my arch enemy now, who were one of my, in simple terms, if I could say it, bestest friends or bestest buddies, have obviously now turned into arch enemies, and I absolutely hate that person. Anyways, instead of repeating, I should get to the point because then I'm gonna get lost in the weeds, and then I won't be able to stick to the point, and then I'll end up over explaining, which I'm doing right now. I'll just stick to the point. So they have hit a certain anniversary milestone in their life, and me being an emotional fool, and because I was so deeply in love with that person, and yeah, so obviously, as I explained in few of my previous videos, love is basically not thinking about yourself and thinking about the person in front. But I would like to add one more point to it. Your love should, in the end, not be used against you, or should not harm you or degrade you in any way. And such is the thing that has happened between me. But yet still I was tempted today to contact that person. I obviously, had a strategy in my mind before that. So how can I say this without giving too much details? I can only name them in generic terms. So there is a group of family members, let's call them family member 1. The person whom I love, let's call family member 2. So when I was injured, obviously I had kept a reel which I had edited myself as I had uploaded that reel basically. So after seeing that, family member 2 contacted me on Instagram, asked me what happened, all those things. And there too, actually, because I loved so much talking to this person, and I obviously love this person a lot. I obviously was totally, I had forgotten what all has happened and what all is done and all that. And I had completely forgotten about all those things. And all of this had totally happened, and I was talking as if nothing had happened. And so yeah, but that conversation is over. So family member 2 obviously shared these details with family members 1. Family members 1 is obviously a group of family members who have done wrong with me and my family members since a long time, especially my mom. And she has been traumatized. And yeah, traumatized is all I'll say without going into too much details. And all I can say is the repercussions of that trauma is what I face on a daily basis. Anyways, so family members one took a conference, joined a conference call and then called me on that conference call through one of the family members whom they knew I have a soft corner for, one of the elder family members, and I will pick up the call. So they called through their number and then all of them talked with me and took all the details, didn't congratulate, I think doesn't matter, talked with me. So how this started was that, at approximately 6 p.m. today, my mom called me, and let's face it, I tried to call her I was thinking of calling her multiple times during the day to ask if whether or not we should wish Aniket, but then I held myself back because that would obviously show that I still he still holds certain amount of significance in my life, which, let's face it, he still does. And that's obviously the bad thing, getting lost in the weeds here again. I promise this would take less than 5 minutes, and here I am. Anyways, I'm gonna speed this up. So at that point, I thought that family members one bypassed my mom and directly called me. So let's check and let's see whether or not they'll tolerate the same with their son. Oh shit. With family member two, basically. So that's what I told my mom, that a few days back they bypassed you and they called me. So you too try the same thing now. And if family member two picks up your call and talks to you, then I'll decide what to do next. And to my surprise, and to something which I hadn't predicted, family member two actually picked up my mom's call. And then probably they talked for a minute or two and all those things. And that was done deal, basically. So after that, since he had talked, so immediately my thing where, I all of a sudden generated this urge to talk to him, and I immediately shot him a message. And when I shot him a message, after a few minutes, my mom messaged me. Obviously, I called her and I asked whether I should call or whether I should message, to which she said you should message. So after disconnecting the call, I messaged, and after that, my mom messaged me saying that you can call also. And I was tempted so hard to call him. But this time, I held myself back. And I held myself back because, I didn't really want to get stuck in this toxic loop again and again. I'll obviously end up calling him, and then I'll obviously not stick to the point. I won't be able to. As a matter of fact, I was actively thinking about, how the conversation would go ahead and what all things I should say and do without, thinking that it will be rude to just wish and cut, but then again not speak for too long, so that I would restrict myself to not talking too much. And that's when it really hit me that I can't do it. If I talk once first, I'll talk for some time, then I'll talk a little bit more. The next time I'll talk a little bit more, and then this will go on and go on and go on, and then we'll again be in a situation where, we all will be together. And then the same loop will be repeated, and the same thing will happen again and again and again and again. So I thought that it's best to put a full stop to this. So I held myself back to call, and I even deleted the message, but I'm pretty sure that he must have seen the message coming in his notification panel, but he chose not to reply immediately because obviously there is this thing, and you'll see many reels about this where they'll suggest that you shouldn't reply immediately, because that makes you feel, that makes you desperate, and things like, so obviously he must be trying all those things on me. And yeah, that's why I didn't really reply, but doesn't matter. What I wanted to put forth is that, I felt the need to call him, message him, stay in contact with him, but then I stopped, because, and I deleted the message which I shot, because I thought that if I do that, I'll again be trapped in this loop where, the level at which I feel the need to contact will keep on increasing, and then it will be similar to, a guy in rehab who's addicted to alcohol. When he has gone through the rehab, and now his rehab has, ended and all of that, and then all of a sudden he feels the need to, now that I'm not addicted, because I've completed my rehab successfully, I'm no longer addicted to the alcohol. So let me try a sip of alcohol again. So then he goes ahead and takes a sip of the alcohol, and then, the sip converts into two sips, and before he knows it, he's already finishing bottles, and he's even more addicted. So I really didn't want to end up in that situation, so I stopped myself. And that's pretty much it of the situation. And I thought that, once I let this out, I'll probably, like every time, find some way around it where I'll somehow, contradict myself by, once I let it out, I'll somehow contradict myself and, come up with things or reasons as to why whatever I'm doing is wrong. But this time that hasn't happened, and even though I've said things out loud, I still stick to the decision that I've taken. So there's that. So yeah. Anyways, back to the point, which I was. Before that, I'll continue this video. I remembered what point I made, while talking, what point I made while talking in the video. So I'll continue with that point first. So what I said was that, I have kind of reviewed my content that I'm uploading, obviously, and I've come across the fact that I take extremely long pauses, and I speak extremely slowly, and that will obviously enable people to not be engaged in my content, and this will obviously drive people away from the content rather than bringing them together. Oh damn! I've managed to record only for 18 minutes now. That's really good. And I've taken the wrong turn. I need to go in the front slightly, and then on the highway make a turn. So I'm gonna, yeah. So obviously the way around this is that, I can do diligent scripting, I can train harder, and, I should make sure that I am recording in a place where I can focus. But as you all are aware, I am recording all this while, traveling, and know while traveling, no other way to say this. So while I am speaking, I am also focused on the road ahead, and I obviously don't want to, what you can say, not pay attention on the road, obviously. Otherwise, I'll end up in a very bad accident, which obviously won't be good. Not because I value my life, but let's say I managed to survive. Which let's face it, after the previous incident, I can truly say that I will survive. It will, and this time I end up getting injured. It will really be extremely expensive for me to be repaired and be of use, and I don't really want to be in that situation again. So yeah, there's that. Continuing on the point that I was making, what was I saying? So yeah, I can obviously, the way to get around this is, I can sit in a concentrated room and I can try to record, obviously. And I know for a fact that if I do this, I'll be able to record in a much better fashion. But obviously, I'm not going to do that. I'm obviously not going to do that because I really don't have the time. And I really don't have the time to do that. Just excuse me for a minute. So while I'm figuring out my route. Yeah, I'm back. I've figured out the route, hopefully, and I'm gonna continue on my route now. So I am not. I can't really do that. I mean, it's not like I can't really do that. I don't want to do that. Oh my God, I have come up at this point. Oh no, what have I done? Oh my God. Oh my God. What have I done? Why am I here? I knew this would happen, but oh my God, I'm gonna regret this so bad. Anyways, I am going to plow through. What was I saying? Oh my God, it was that road. Oh my God. Oh my God, it is that road. The road which I thought I was gonna take is that road which is closed now. And let's hope that the road which I have now taken isn't going to be. Oh God. Oh my God. I should have seen this coming. And oh my God, is it open? No, it is not. God damn it. That was the road which I was planning to take, but I obviously can't. Let's hope that there is no traffic here. Oh yes, there is no traffic here. I have one. Oh my God, is the traffic issue on the other road solved? Because there is no reason for your to there is no reason that there will be no traffic. Oh my God, my grammar is correct. So yeah. So anyways, I can't really focus on what I had said, so I'll plow through and I'll continue on to my next point. My next point